And a very good afternoon to you. Welcome along to the Kia Oval. We're here for some Charlotte Edwards Cup action as the South East Stars host the Sunrisers. And the good news is we have blue skies and sun, which is always a very welcome addition. We've had just about everything today, including thunder and lightning, but the ground staff have done a wonderful job, and we are going to get some cricket. 18 overs per side. Sunrisers have won the toss and will have first use of the wicket. This is Jamie Reid. Delighted to say that Michael McCann is alongside. And let's give you the two teams, because the Stars make 4 changes. Georgia Redmayne, Ailish Cranstone, Alice Davidson-Richards and Emma Jones come in from the last outing, which was of course last Sunday. Stars losing by 3 wickets to Central Sparks. Also one change for Sunrisers. Sophie Munro comes in for Nicola Hancock in the one change to their last outing on Thursday. They lost by 8 wickets to the Blaze at Lords. We're going to get underway very, very shortly. As mentioned, delighted to say Michael is alongside and he will talk you through the teams and the first 5 overs. A very good afternoon, Michael.
Very good afternoon, Jamie. Very good afternoon all. It's a pleasant surprise that we have a game of cricket to enjoy here, and we're probably thankful to the Oval ground staff in particular for that being possible. I think there's plenty of places around the country where by this point there'd be 2 sets of very frustrated cricketers looking at the weather and ruin their luck with a sodden outfield. But we're on. Grewcock's ready to bowl the first ball of the game to Bryony Smith. He finds the outside edge of the bat and will get 1. Sophie Munro immediately into the action, having come back into that Sunrisers team. Sunrisers, of course, out of the qualification picture, which is all sewn up, in truth. And Sophia Dunkley takes strike, apart from quite who will end up playing who in the semi-finals from the top 4. The top 4 itself is already confirmed now. 5-4 field for Grewcock, who won't want to offer too much width outside that off stump to Dunkley given that field. Dunkley said is nibbling this down through fine leg. Pick up a comfortable single, so both batters off the mark. Sunrisers so far with 2 wins and 6 losses in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Grewcock again, and once more finds the outside edge of Bryony Smith's bat. This runs away down to third. This time they'll come back for 2. Sunrisers pretty much out of contention. They have 2 wins and 6 losses. Stars are already through. They're second in the table at the start of today with 5 wins, a defeat and a washout. Smith blocks that one. They'll start this from Grewcock, who's already found the outside edge twice in the first over.
Indeed, yep. You mentioned about the ground staff working tirelessly. We should say congratulations to Lee Fortis, who's the head ground staff here.
A bit more flight on that one. Good slog sweep from Smith, but straight at Maddie Villiers out at deep mid-wicket.
Let's hope that Bryony can score a few today, because she's missed out, hasn't she, the last few matches. We know just how good she can be and how good she has been. Sophia Dunkley, well, she's had that recall to the national team, in and out of England selection. But the one thing you have to say, the constant has been the runs that she's been able to score.
Beating the outside edge, Grewcock, and finishing a very good first over. It concedes just 5. So after that opening over, 5 without loss. So of course we're building towards Charlotte Edwards Cup finals day, which is at Derby next Saturday. Blaze have 8 wins from 8 and are top, and will almost certainly finish top. South East Stars second, 10 points behind them with a game in hand. Southern Vipers and Central Sparks both 4 points behind Stars, having played a game more. And then Lancashire Thunder, Western Storm, Sunrisers and Northern Diamonds all confirmed as being in that dreaded bottom 4, meaning that they will miss out. First place 4th, second place 3rd, and the final to follow. All of that to look forward to next Saturday. But for now, to our slight disbelief in the commentary box, the sun is properly popping its head out. So we get the first over of the day that's coming from the pavilion end. To bowl it, that's a little bit too short to start off with, and nothing square they can do about it. confident, strong pull shot from Bryony Smith brings the first boundary of the game.
Smith very elegant, good timing, and as soon as it races away like that on this quick outfield, the only thing that the umpire needed to do is just make sure that she sidestepped the ball as it came in. Ben Peverell and Gabby Brown are two on-field umpires.
Peverell standing this over. Gray once more. And again, it's too short, and this time helped backward of square for 4 more. So not a good start from Gray, who hasn't learnt from that first delivery, but great credit to Smith, who's put 2 bad balls away really nicely.
Yep, indeed, onto the pads of Smith, where she is particularly strong, and the good thing is, when you're in confident mood and you feel like you can contribute, it's never easy sitting up there in the dressing room when you want to be playing cricket. I know we've only lost 2 overs per side, but it's frustrating for the girls. They just want to be out there, and the good news is Smith picking up very nicely.
Short again. A little bit of an awkward prod at that one from Smith. It headed into a pad.
Just kept low, didn't it, that one?
Yeah, we were scheduled to start at 2:30, so we might have only lost a couple of overs, but we've started 80 minutes after the scheduled start time, and the players were on and off. Had a couple of spells of warming up, then a shower came in, everybody headed off again. Ground staff had to do their thing and did it magnificently. Short outside off. Isn't really bowling to a field there, Gray, because she's only got 4 on the offside and they're all in tight. Goes to the extra cover rope, a 3rd boundary in 4, and Bryony Smith is so far winning the battle this over comprehensively.
Well, it's frustrating, of course, playing against her former employers. She played for the Stars, and the most difficult thing here, she's bowling both sides of the wicket, and that makes it very, very difficult. You can see the captain just having a little word there, Grace Scrivens.
Gray recomposing herself. And that's short. That's like the first couple of deliveries. Too short and down leg, and Smith once again helps herself. This is turning into a really big over. 16 off it, 4 boundaries in 5. Ruthless from Bryony Smith.
It really was, again, 2 straight, bowling onto the pads and just putting it away with clinical efficiency. I'm pleased for the crowd. People have stayed around wanting to try and watch and get the opportunity to see some cricket. It's a massive opportunity for these players to play here at the Kia Oval.
Short Smith this time with a baseball style shot almost to the right of Joe Gardner at mid-off, and fields and keeps to 1. So big over, concedes 17, and after 2 overs, South East Stars going very nicely, particularly Bryony Smith doing so. She has 21 of the 22 scored.
Well, Grucock was nice and tight, wasn't she, with the first over, only conceding 5. Gray much less economical, and it puts the Stars into a good position up front here when you can see one batsman being particularly dominant. I know Dunkley's only had a couple of balls to face, but 21 off 10 from Smith. It's been the dream start.
Will be a bowling change, as you so often see teams tend to dice up the power play using 5 or sometimes even 6 different bowlers across the 6 overs. Will be spin again from the Vauxhall Road end in the form of Maddie Villiers, who's got a brilliant from Maddie Villiers, her very first ball, and Bryony Smith, who had decimated the previous over, taking 17 off Eva Gray, has to go. That's an important scalp for the Sunrisers. The South East Stars captain gone, and Maddie Villiers with a wicket from her very first ball of the day, 22 for 1.
Good work, wasn't it, behind the sticks from Amara Carr. Did very nicely just to take the bells off very sharply, and unfortunately she had rocked forward and overcommitted there, Bryony Smith, and her stay is at an end. It's been an enjoyable innings, but Carr's done the work behind, and Villiers has picked up a wicket from her first ball. Smith has to make the long way back for 21, the Stars 22 for 1.
So out comes Georgia Redmayne for her first appearance for the Stars this season, the 30-year-old Australian. Joined Sophia Dunkley at a slightly gloomy looking Kia Oval. Someone that has quite the cricketing CV, from likes of the Brisbane Heat, the Welsh Fire and New South Wales as well. Very impressive player. For now, Redmayne at the non-strikers. In fact, facing up, beg your pardon, just prodding that one out to cover. Change of angle, of course, for Villiers, who won't mind the matchup here as an off-spinner against the left-handed Redmayne. Slip in place as well. Aggressive move from the Sunrisers. It's a nice delivery from Villiers, which catches the inside edge. Bit of luck for Redmayne to get off the mark.
Yeah, sometimes you need that little bit of good fortune, and she certainly had it on that occasion. It means that there's going to be another change to the field. That's what you get with the left-right hand combination. It has got a little bit gloomy. There's still plenty of blue skies, but you kind of get the feeling that it is murky out there. That's not easy for the batters.
Oh, that's a horror delivery from Villiers. Just slipped out the back of her hand. She can have a good chuckle and a giggle about it. Would have needed a tennis racket or a periscope to reach that one, Sophia Dunkley. Free hit signalled as well, of course. Sure, that's not a great ball either. It is a very good piece of fielding though from Jo Gardner to ensure that it concedes just one. You would have to say Villiers has got away with that a bit.
Brilliant, wasn't it, from Gardner, the off-spinning all-rounder, diving away to her right-hand side and pulling off a great stop and saving 3 runs, make no doubt about that.
Short, this finds the outside edge of Redmayne's bat, and a bit of a fortuitous way to get her first boundary for the Stars this season, but Georgia Redmayne will take it. The Australian finds the rope in slightly lucky circumstances.
We'll just get the chance to see it again. No slip in place. She's just looked to try and open the face. Maybe she got a little bit of good fortune, but that sometimes you get the situation where you want to try and get amongst the runs, and she moves on to 5. Big opportunity this for the left-hander.
Comes wider of the crease that time. Villiers tucked away. They wanted 1, definitely not 1. Straight to Kate Kopak. End of the 3rd over, 29 for 1. Kopak, of course, was in action here on Tuesday for her county Middlesex as they lost to Surrey in the annually contested London Cup. Surrey retaining their crown, but Kopak bowled very impressively, taking 3 for 17. And it looks like it's going to try and continue that good work of hers from Tuesday on this ground. Coming on now from the pavilion end, so 4th bowler to be used in all 4 overs. No surprise really, given that the first over that we saw from that pavilion end was when Eva Gray conceded 17.
Kopak can certainly bowl with good pace. She'll be one of the quickest on show here today, and if she can continue from what she did midweek for Middlesex, they could be in for a good little time here, the Sunrisers.
Into the pad's first ball, some slightly strangled LBW appeals. The movement of Amara Khan down the leg side was a bit of a clue. It didn't have too much going for it. Kopak, who's quite the life outside of cricket, has an alpaca farm, is a lawyer, and has represented Peru as well 6 years ago in the South American Women's Championship. Back a little too short outside off, and Dunkley can get her hands through that and does so nicely. First boundary of the day for Sophia Dunkley. Too short, too wide, but my goodness me, she's put this away well.
Yeah, she has put it away very, very nicely. As you say, with the width on offer, that half volley, it's just the kind of opportunity that you want outside off stump. We know that Dunkley's strong in that area, and it means that she's able to move on to 6. She'll be fancying a long stay out there, and it will be lovely to see her really contribute for the Stars, because we know how good she is.
Down the ground this time from Dunkley, well fielded by Kopak off her own bowling. Sophia Dunkley, of course, hit half century for the Stars last time out in what was to end up being their first T20 loss of the campaign. Had 5 wins and a washout until losing by just 3 wickets with 4 balls to spare. A low-scoring thriller in Canterbury. Swipe and a miss from Dunkley outside off stump, who'd made room outside leg to try and free the arms. Good response to Kopak, from Kopak to being hit for that boundary.
Dunkley just wanted to open up the offside there. Almost a golf shot, wasn't it? Getting plenty of swing into it, but no connection.
Yeah, square legs come up now. Long on's gone out, so long on and deep cover point are Kopak's 2 fielders outside the circle at this power play time. Straight up, needs catching, called by Carr, and taken. Wasn't an easy one, swirled in the wind a touch, and the dangerous Dunkley is gone for just 6. Kate Kopak, who picked up 3 wickets here in the London Cup on Tuesday for Middlesex against Surrey, now claims the important scalp of Dunkley early doors here for Sunrisers against Stars, 33 for 2.
Well, it's a skyer, it's never an easy one, and I think it's always good when you see the wicketkeeper who's got the gloves taking the initiative, saying that she wants to be in control of the situation. In the end, it was a good diving catch that we're just about to see. On that wet outfield, you have to say to yourself, that's very well judged. Well played, Carr. She's been involved in both of the dismissals with the stumping and now the catch.
Yeah, she's ended up at a sort of short square leg position there. She's had to make quite a lot of ground from having started that delivery standing back, of course, to Kopak. Exactly what you want a keeper to do. Called it early, took a confident grab. So out to the wicket comes Phoebe Franklin at 4, who so often is one of a number of very impressive all-rounders in this South East Stars side, and is a steadying influence with the bat. Franklin alongside Redmayne, who's only just settling into her work. Decent ball first up from Kopak, but well timed, guided out to point. Franklin hasn't had the best of T20 campaigns, you'd have to say, as the 4th over comes to an end. 33 for 2, 65 runs scored off 61 deliveries at an average of 13 with a high score of 16. She'll hope that today is her day alongside the very talented and experienced Aussie Redmayne.
Well, 5 dot balls in that over from Kopak, just the one scoring shot, and that was the boundary to the previous batter, Sophia Dunkley. She's now back in the pavilion, and a little bit of work needed by these two.
Has to continue, unsurprisingly so. Played close to point. It could have been a run-out chance, a direct hit from Suren Kumar. Might well have had Franklin struggling. As it was, the throw was well wide of that. Slightly tight single there.
It was tight. The last thing you want is a run out at this stage. It was a shy for the stumps, a direct hit, and I think the umpire will be raising that index finger.
Flighted by Villiers. Chase needed for deep cover coming around, but no real prospect of 2 there.
Sweepers either side of the wicket at deep cover and deep mid wicket, both wanting to come into the game if there's the opportunity via a catch. But she's bowled nicely so far, Villiers, into her 2nd over.
Field change here. Looked like it would be for a second, but I think Villiers is happy with it as it is. Looking for a 5-4 offside field for the lefty with a slip in play. Nice looking shot from Redmayne, but deep covers out there. Gray will keep it to just 1. Slight prospect of overthrows, but it was well backed up.
Decent crowd in place here. You'll hope that maybe a few more might start to come. We wonder what we would get weather-wise, but we can see the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion fairly well populated, which is always good to see.
Short from Villiers, and this is wide of point and nothing deep cover can do. First boundary for Phoebe Franklin, really well timed, waited for it, rocked onto the back foot and helped it to the rope.
Well, Flo Miller's out there on that deep cover boundary, but as soon as it beats the infield, pierces that infield, it's going to race away. No chance of running round to cut it off. Nice elegant shot that from Franklin.
So how does Villiers respond? You'd imagine a touch fuller. It's a slightly fuller delivery that turns a bit as well. Franklin just has to respect the good ball and keep it out. Short, just too short, just helped away off the back foot. Sensible guiding shot from Franklin, who will keep the strike. 8 off the over, 41 for 2 of 5.
Well, it's been a good start in terms of the run rate. You look going up in excess of 8 and over, which is encouraging. The only slight disappointment from a Stars perspective, they've lost their 2 openers, and certainly Smith was seeing it very, very nicely. So a little repair job just going on here. It'll be interesting to see how Kopak goes in this second over. She's bowled very nicely again first up, and she'll want to try and continue that. If they could pick up another wicket and start to look at the middle order, they'd be very, very happy with their work so far, the Sunrisers.
So Stars batting lineup has a slightly different look to it as well today. We'll have to wait a little longer for the first ball of the 6th. Those changes, Kalia Moore, Tash Farron, Paige Schofield and Chloe Hill all out from last time out. Georgia Redmayne, Ailish Cranstone, Emma Jones and Alice Davidson-Richards are the 4 to come back in.
Indeed, as we see the first ball of the 6th over that's going to be bowled by Kopak. Kopak comes racing in, and it's the chance to pick up a single as the ball goes out to deep cover. Lots of pigeons, seagulls, everyone racing around this outfield trying to scavenge and pick up what they might be able to get. The good news is the sun is out. Quite a few clouds in and around us here at the Kia Oval, but the ground staff have worked tirelessly to get us out there. So encouraging. We've lost 2 overs per side. It's an 18 over game. The Sunrisers winning the toss and electing to field first, which means that the Stars have had first use of the wicket. Bryony Smith and Sophia Dunkley are both out, but Redmayne and Franklin looking to get to work, and it is the left-handed Redmayne on strike and facing up to Kopak. Tries to just tickle one away on the leg side, which she does elegantly, and picks up a single. Not too much in the way of back connection there, but enough to race through to the non-striker's end. And in the power play, 5.2 overs, 33 balls, because we are reduced. 43 runs were scored and 2 wickets picked up by Sunrisers. So 5.2 overs for the power play in these slightly changed conditions. It's a slightly shorter game as Kopak continues and runs up past the umpire, allowing a little bit of width here to Franklin, who's cutting elegantly out there to deep cover and taking another single. Ben Peverell and Gabby Brown are our 2 on-field umpires. And looking all around here, plenty of things to see in and around the vicinity of this famous old ground, the Kia Oval. We've got the Archbishop Tennyson School away to our right from our broadcast position at the Vauxhall end here. That's on Harleyford Road, where you see those buses going up and down. Always lovely to see the Red London buses as another single is picked up here. And they're just rotating the strike nicely, Franklin and Redmayne. They'd like 1 or 2 more boundaries, I'm sure. Seems a little while ago that Dunkley went, caught behind by Kopak for 6. And Kopak is back at the top of her mark. 45 for 2 is the score as she comes racing in, and using that bottom hand to work it leg side is Franklin. It's a dot.
Probably just a sense for Redmayne as well of settling in, understandably. Playing her first competitive cricket with the Stars in this campaign.
Yep, you want to assess the scene and make sure that you're watching and doing what you need to do. Fielding restrictions lifted, of course. Third just comes up. 2 sweepers on the leg side, 1 in force on the offside, and a dot ball to end the over. 6 bowled. We're a third of the way through the innings. A reminder that it is 18 per side, and the Stars are 45 for 2.
Pitch looks like it's playing reasonably well and true. There was a little bit of shape for the new ball, but actually, ironically, on a day where it's been very gloomy and rainy, just as we've got going, the Sunrisers opening bowlers would have been slightly disappointed by all of those clouds seeming to suddenly disappear from the sky. This is in keeping with the modern way. Rotation coming here. Sophie Munro back into the side. The one change for the Sunrisers is to be the first non-spin offering that we've seen of the day from the Vauxhall Road, and Maddie Villiers and Jodie Grewcock have already bowled from this end so far.
Yep, Sophie Munro coming into the side in place of the Australian Nicola Hancock. 4 changes for the Stars, with Georgia Redmayne, Ailish Cranstone, Alice Davidson-Richards and Emma Jones all getting an opportunity to play in this game. 45 for 2 is the score. The sun again is sticking around, which is so pleasing, and the blue skies make it slightly lighter out there, which is always pleasing for these 2 batters. And it's Redmayne just tickling one round the corner. Down it goes to fine leg, and they take 1. No bat involved, so just flicking the pad. Good bit of work down there in the deep at fine leg. A few words for Sophie Munro from skipper Grace Scrivens. Let's not forget she's still a youngster, the England under-19 all-rounder. Great promise. Taking on the captaincy, which is never easy. And that's slightly wide and will be signalled by the umpire.
Comfortably outside that blue line. Sunrisers, as I mentioned, out of the picture when it comes to the Charlotte Edwards Cup after just 2 wins from 8. They are going very well in 50 over cricket.
Yep, they've been very good in the other competition. Well marshalled, of course. This one is just turned round the corner, leg side. It flicks off the pad. The batter on strike is the right-hander Phoebe Franklin.
Sunrisers are top of the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy table with 19 points from 6, 4 wins from 6. There's 4 teams that all have 4 wins from 6. The South East Stars, Southern Vipers and the Northern Diamonds are the other 3.
Well, there's still plenty of work in that competition, and we'll go back into it when we finish up the Charlotte Edwards. That's wide and will be signalled wide again. You can see the batter really trying to reach Franklin, but the umpire extending those arms again.
Well, the plan here from Munro seems to be to hang the ball outside that off stump, which is a slightly curious one if it is, because she's got a 5-foot onside field.
Munro on the way once more and bowling on off stump. It's been hit over the head of the fielder at mid-on, and it will race down to the boundary for 4 more willing runs. And with that, it brings up the half century for the Stars. They take their score to 52 for 2. Cue the celebration. A good round of applause from the people watching on.
Lovely shot from Franklin. Stand and deliver stuff, over pitched, and really not the kind of ball you want to bowl with mid-on and mid-off up. So third has now come up and mid-on's gone back.
Yeah, mid-on has been posted to long on. Unfortunately, the ground staff are starting to make a move, which could be that they're just getting their steps in, or it could be that we've got something to worry about. Let's hope it's the former rather than the latter. Redmayne has 8, Franklin undefeated on 12, and here's Munro to continue this latest over. A slower ball which has been picked by the batter and put away with clinical efficiency. Very nice from Franklin. She looks in the mood to party here today. She takes her score on to 16, and the replay that's just incoming shows that it was a very nice shot.
Yeah, over pitched and took full advantage. No protection out there. Scrivens just having a chat with her bowler, Munro, who still trying to quite work out her plans here. Has persisted with this 5-4 leg side field, which she's had all over, despite generally hanging the ball outside off. She's changed it now, so it's brought mid-wicket across to point. So it's now a 5-4 offside field with a deep set leg side field.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what she bowls here. It is on to the pads of Franklin, wanting to try and open up that leg side where there was a little bit of space. She ends with a dot ball, a couple of boundaries in that over, which means that it went for 10, the first one up that Munro bowled, and the Stars have taken their score on to 56 for 2.
Yep, the second most expensive over of the innings so far, which has just kicked the worm on. The most expensive being the 17 that Bryony Smith hit off Eva Gray in the second over of the innings, which had that run rate spiking up before these couple of wickets to help the Sunrisers peg it back. So Grucock back on now, and having bowled the first over of the game from the Vauxhall Road end, will change ends to the Pavilion end here.
Grucock, the leg spinner, getting an opportunity coming through the academy for the Sunrisers. We'll get the opportunity to see her with the bat, all being well, the all-rounder. And she starts with a dot. Redmayne, in fairness, hasn't seen too much of the bowling just recently. It seems to be Franklin who's taken up the majority of the opportunities. This time she's pushing the ball back down the track to mid-off, and again another dot.
A very nice first over at the top from Vauxhall Road and conceded just 5. Seems to be in good fettle again here.
It's been good so far. She's bowled the 8 deliveries, only gone for 5. Down this one goes to long on, and they take 1, which brings the right-hander and a change in field here. 4 changes for the Stars coming into this game. Sunrisers making a change. We have lost a couple of overs per side, being reduced to 18 overs. And you can see that Grace Scrivens there just going over to have a little word with the bowler.
Scrivens is now bringing herself in at long on, and also using a long off 2. Gain of 5-4 onside field.
And here is the opportunity for Grucock just to continue, and into the game is Scrivens, who's moved down there to long on, and they take 1, and she's back up into the ring.
I think this is a little bit of a preset plan for Phoebe Franklin, because she's the only batter they're doing this with. Not doing the same tactic with any other batter. Pretty much every ball she's faced so far has had a 5-4 leg side field. Franklin
ticking along nicely. This one's upish, turned round the corner. It should be cut off, and is cut off, but they'll come back for 2. Nice running. Redmayne instantly knew she was going to the danger end, running that first one hard so that she could turn and turn 1 into 2. That will please Johan Myberg and the coaches. Darren Stevens, of course, part of the coaching team, and he was a fine 20-over cricketer, wasn't he, in his career? That's a beautiful shot. Very, very nice from Redmayne. Pushing the ball down the track very elegantly. And suddenly in this over, she's found her form and found her feet. It's gone past the bowler and raced away. No chance of stopping that. 8 overs done. And very easy for me to say with my elementary maths. 64 for 2 is the score, which means that the run rate's 8 and over.
Nice work on the human calculator that is next to me, Jamie Reid. But all jest aside, 8 and over from here gets you to 144, which I think if you offered them that, now they'd probably take it. The boundaries are big, particularly square of the wicket. It's tough to hit boundaries here square of the wicket. Straight boundaries are slightly more inviting, but I don't think you quite describe them as short. Now, key moment in the game, because Gray's going to change ends.
Yep, and Gray went for quite a few, didn't she, first up, going for those 17. She started nicely here with a dot.
Yeah, there'll undoubtedly be a bit of nerves for Eva Gray. Smashed for 17 by Bryony Smith in the second over of the game. That was from the pavilion end. That wind is making a big difference as well, blowing from right to left as we look at things in this over.
Yep, you can see the Union flag and the Surrey flag both really blowing into that wind. This time bowling onto the pads of Franklin, who just covers up, pushes back down the track, and again another dot. So the change of ends so far has worked for the bowler.
It's not necessarily something that's of advantage to anyone. It can be equally an inconvenience to batters and bowlers, a strong wind like this. Not much fun to field in either.
No, not necessarily where you want to be up on that rooftop bar. They've got the perfect skyline of the capital as they race through for a single. Good running from both Redmayne and Franklin. They both got their bats down and charged for the line, and both got there very comfortably.
This partnership has almost exactly doubled the team score from when they came together. Came together at 33 for 2 with 1 ball left of the 4th over. Brought them to 65 for 2 now.
So it's been good, hasn't it, from Franklin to have picked up 18 of those 32. She's been the aggressor, the one who's looked to try and get going here. 65 for 2 is the score. She's off strike at the moment. It's the left-hander Redmayne who's just surveying the scene and facing up to Gray, who's gone for 18 from the 9 balls she's bowled so far. This one worked out leg side of the wicket and they take another single.
Interesting there, a 5-4 onside field as well used for Redmayne, with a clear plan from right arm around that Gray would cramp her for room. And the same thing being mapped out for Franklin here.
Indeed, as Gray continues, runs up close to the umpire and just jamming down and pushing the ball elegantly to the boundary's edge. As soon as it beat that infield, it raced away, and that's 4 more welcome runs to Franklin. She's been in fine fettle here. It's been a good knock. We're going to get the chance just to see it again. Very, very elegant. Getting her head over the ball very nicely.
Well, it's not just that, it's good manipulation of the field. She was aware that by just backing away to leg and trying to force that through extra cover, she'd get more value for the shot. She could have more conventionally turned that into the onside for 1. So that's forced a field change. This is a little bit funky from Grace Scrivens. She's effectively got 2 extra covers, pretty much 5 yards or so apart, and then Scrivens herself at mid-off.
Well, they're there for the drive, aren't they? That if it's uppish, they might be able to bring themselves into the game. One of the fielders is going to do just that, but they race through for a single, getting right in behind it there, and good bit of work, nice work. They fielded nicely, in fairness. 9 overs complete. We're halfway through the innings. The Stars 71 for 2.
Yeah, Franklin already has her highest score in T20 cricket this season. Redmayne on to 16 in her first game for the Stars in this campaign. Looks like a change of end for Villiers, who will now bowl from the Vauxhall Road, the pavilion end, and bowled very successfully a couple of overs from the Vauxhall Road end before that, when she conceded 15 from a couple and picked up the important wicket of Bryony Smith, who at the time was going very nicely. From here, with this kind of platform, you would think that 150 would be the staging post that Stars would be aiming for. Here's Villiers, and that's smashed out into the onside and brilliantly caught on the run by Eva Gray. An excellent catch. Franklin has to go for 23, 71 for 3. It was full. You might even say it was in the slot, but Franklin hit that like a tracer bullet, and Gray, running around to her left at deep mid wicket, clutches it. Big moment, big catch. Franklin has to depart for a T20 best this season of 23.
Well, it was taken very nicely. You can't keep Gray out of the game at the moment. She's taken that catch very nicely against her former employers. And Villiers is celebrating once more. And that's frustrating for Bryony Smith's side because it very much looked like Franklin was finding her feet. It's a good contribution, 23. But unfortunately, she's not really had the opportunity to really go on. And now there's a big chance here for Emma Jones to contribute.
Emma Jones, one of the 4 changes to this Stars side, coming into the team from the 11 that lost at Canterbury in that tight game against Sparks by 3 wickets last Sunday.
Villiers 2 for 15 then so far. We're into this 10th over of the innings. Jamie Reid with Michael McCann alongside, and Michael will be back on commentary at the end of this over. We're keeping it simple. We could possibly dice it up, but we've worked with this formula of 5 each, and we're not going to divert and deviate away from that. 71 for 3 is the score. It's got a little bit dark again, which is frustrating as we get the opportunity for Villiers just to bowl a slightly quicker one. Push back down the track. The wicket-keeper comes out from behind the sticks and gives it back to the bowler. Jones has faced a couple of dots so far. She's got that high lift off the bat and she's facing up once more here and looking to try and cut the ball out to deep cover. And off the mark at the 3rd time of asking. It brings Redmayne, the left-hander, back onto strike, which means that we'll have the changes in the field. Ben Peverell just gives the guard there to the batter. He's been off strike a little bit, so just taking a fresh guard. Gabby Brown also on field. We had that lengthy delay. Lots of rain falling here, and the ground staff have done remarkably well to get us out. The good news is we've only lost 4 overs in total, 2 per side. Here's Villiers running out from behind the umpire. Turn round the corner, no real conviction in the stroke, and no chance of a single there. You could see that Jones wanted to try and back up and get onto strike, but we're almost at the end of 10 overs, just 1 ball to go until we reach that stage. And Villiers again will bowl to Redmayne, who's going to nick the strike. They race through for a single, and that is 10 overs done. 73 for 3.
Yeah, another very good over from Maddie Villiers, who is 2 for 17 from her 3 now, having split between both ends. It'll be quite interesting to see how the Sunrisers dice up the rest of this innings. It looks like, for now, Munro will come back on to bowl her 2nd from the Vauxhall Road end. Her first one conceded 10, which was the 7th over of the innings. Once again, it is a 5-4 leg side field with a deep mid wicket and deep square leg, as well as deep cover. Long on out as well. We're swinging straight at short fine leg, definitely no run there. So from here, 10 and over would get past 150. You would think with the platform laid, that would be Stars' potential aim. Redmayne will look to push on from a 17 so far. Again, it's hit that straight to short fine leg. They're going to run, and a slight misfield means that there's no prospect of a run out. If I offered you 140 from here, would you say deal or no deal?
I think I'll probably
Stars supporter.
I think I'll probably, if I was a supporter, I'd say no deal, because you always want the best score available. But with my cricket commentator's hat on, I think I'll probably say a deal. That shows I'm conflicted.
Yeah, 140 from here would be almost doubling where they are now, and they've got just over 8.5 overs left. Field adjusts for the right-handed Jones, but again it's this 5-4 leg side plan Sunrisers have used for a lot of today. Jones Gets this right off the toe, but still manages to get 2 because it's a big chase for deep point coming round to more of a deep cover. Jones, who playing just her second Charlotte Edwards Cup game of the season, the only other one by coincidence was against the Sunrisers at Lords last week, 9 days ago, when she took 2 for 13 with the ball, made just 5 with the bat. Full, gets her hands through it, smashes it down towards Gardner, who almost pulls off a catch at long on, but ends up tipping it over the bar, football style if you will, and away for 6. Nothing Gardner could do, she just ran out of room. First 6 of the match, and a lovely strong cricket shot from Emma Jones.
Yeah, it really was. You know that Jo Gardner is one of the better fielders there, and she looked to try and do all she possibly could, but the ball had just too much leg.
So first 6 of the match, and Jones follows it up by finding deep cover for 1. So Redmayne on 18 off 19, still has just 1 boundary, which is that 4 off the outside edge early doors. I beg your pardon, she's hit a couple, but would be looking to accelerate from this base camp now. Still under a run of ball after 19 faced. Nice bit of swing in from Munro. The inside edge of Redmayne's bat onto her pad. Aussie visibly just a touch frustrated. The over goes for 10. It's the 3rd most expensive over of the innings so far. It brings the first maximum of the contest as well. Munro's gone for 20 off 2. Villiers has 1 left. That's the tail of the tape so far. Smith taking 17 off Eva Gray's over, the 2nd of the match, before being stumped neatly by Carl Villiers. Villiers later on picking up the wicket of Franklin. Dunkley made just 6. Villiers is going to bowl out. Starts with a rare bad ball from Maddie Villiers that gets the treatment it deserves. And Jones is just injecting the kind of energy into this innings that the Stars needed. Rocks back, picks up the short ball really quickly. It wasn't that short, but she's gone very deep in her crease there. It's something you notice the very best players are very content to do impressively on a regular basis, which is go back to spin. Scooped up by Jones into the onside. Think of 2 and decide against it. It was a good decision. Certain run out coming there. .40 balls left. Run of ball would be 128, but the Stars' ambitions will rightly be much greater than that. Wide of the crease this time. He's very good at using a crease in angles as well as changes in pace. Dribbles away for 1, signalled as a leg bite. This is going to be an interesting contest because Jones has come out with a lot of intent here. He's already hit a big 6 and has 15 off just 8.
Well, it's rain reduced. You know that the overs are ticking away. You want somebody to look to try and regain the momentum that was there early on when Bryony Smith was scoring runs. Phoebe Franklin also looked in the groove. So it's nice that Jones has been able to come out and score so convincingly and give such good support to Redmayne.
Jones dominating the partnership between the two, and he's going to get 1 more here. It's very well fielded. There's even a potential run-out chance on the 1. I think Jones might have almost run off the shot there, thinking that having struck it that well and timed it that powerfully, it's definitely at least a single.
Good from Flo Miller, wasn't it? And it put all of the pressure on Redmayne. She needed to make sure, maybe a little bit slow setting off from the non-striker's end. As soon as Jones went, she wanted to try and give support to her teammate.
Redmayne won't get 1 here, straight to extra cover. Villiers has just 1 ball left of what's been an excellent spell. And Sunrise will have to work their way through the 8 to come after this. 6 to come, I should say. Of course, reduced to 18. Quick single to short fine leg to finish the over. It's another leg by, so it won't go on Maddie Villiers' figures. She finishes with 2 for 24 off 4, 91 for 3 off 12.
And it's all got a little bit cold. We're lucky that we're inside here at the Vauxhall end of the ground at the Kia Oval, but the hardy souls who've waited around hoping that we would get underway at 2:30, that wasn't the case. But the good news is we are underway, which is the real positive. And the Stars having been put in 91 for 3. You just saw those leaden skies there. It has got darker again. The good news is we are getting some cricket. The bad news is, I fear, we've got a cloud just coming overhead. And we've got to hope that it doesn't deposit. Otherwise, we could be in trouble. Think positively.
Kopak is switching ends, so Kopak's going to bowl from the Vauxhall Road end. She bowled a very good pair of overs from the Pavilion end earlier on. She conceded just 7 and picked up a wicket. Here comes the start of her third, which finds the inside edge of Redmayne's bat. Way for one more. Redmayne thus far struggling to quite get the acceleration that she might like. She's on 19 off 24. Suddenly is getting noticeably darker and gloomier. So here's Kopak. Didn't quite fully time that, Jones. She'll get one out to deep mid-wicket. Yeah, that overhead shot does speak for itself, really. Redmayne looking to go through the gears. Comes down the track, and that is a beautiful shot from Georgia Redmayne. That's exactly what she'd wanted, trying to accelerate the Stars' charge at the back end of things. Fancy footwork. Kopak's no slouch when it comes to pace, and Redmayne has given Kate Kopak a lot to think about there. Come down, charge down, met it on the half volley. Very blustery out there as well as his Kopak again, slightly over pitched. Redmayne will get one out to deep cover. They think of 2, but it's not there. Good quick release. Ensures no prospect of that. Now Jones will look to keep her good form going. Emma Jones, who's already played for the Trent Rockets and the Oval Invincibles. When it comes to the 100, 21-year-old turns 22 on the 8th of August, which incredibly, given the fact that we've barely seen the sun all summer, is not too far away. 7 weeks or so. Kopak continues. It's not a good delivery and gets the treatment it deserves. For a bowler who's normally so consistent, it's almost a surprise to see a ball like that. A full toss down the leg side. Kopak kicks the turf in frustration, and there was no way that Jones was going to miss out. 100 brought up for Stars, and 100 brought up in good time as well. Comes up inside the opening 13 overs.
Well, Kopak's been a little bit more expensive in this latest over with those 2 boundaries. Not easy facing her in these conditions. It's very dark.
Tries to ramp this time, Jones. Doesn't make contact. That's the end of the over, 102 for 3. So the over concedes 12. Second most expensive over of the innings so far. The ground staff are poised and ready in a way that is somewhat concerning, you would have to say, because they know the weather and the patterns and what to expect around here better than anyone. So he's hoping that somehow the slightly ominous looking dark clouds that seem to be circling around us do not manage to interrupt. 5 overs left. Just a tickle under 10 and over will get Stars to 150, which, given we're reduced to 18 overs, they'll be pretty happy with. Grewcock's going to come back on. He's bowled 2 overs so far. She's bowled 1 over from each end. And this time she'll come back on at the pavilion end.
Yep, the ground staff just bristling with endeavour.
It's a good way to describe it. Just nibbled away that one by Redmayne for one. Emma Jones can continue on her merry way. She's almost caught Grewcock up, has really injected a lot into this innings. Field changing again, but Sunrisers, as they've done for a lot of today, persisting with this 5-4 onside field. Looking to bowl very straight, stump to stump. Jones getting funky, not getting any reward for it, mistiming it, having a bit of a laugh at herself.
Just moving away around in her crease, moving along nicely, 21 from 13, facing up again.
Jones this time gets all of that. That's a massive six. That has gone into the stands. That's gone 20 yards past the rope. Shot of the day, no doubt. Second six of the innings from Jones, who is carrying Stars towards 150 at a mighty rate. That's a huge blow.
Very impressive. You need boundary smokers in your team.
She might get four here along the carpet. She won't, because Scrivens has to put in some hard yards to her left to instead keep it to one. It's been a gem of an innings, this from Jones. You'd have to say has consistently timed the ball better than any other Stars batter. Bryony Smith got after Eva Gray for a few balls, but across an innings, Jones has looked very good. It's down leg swept straight to short, fine leg. Redmayne hurries through for the single.
Lizzie McLeod carrying out the fielding. Had she hit, it might well have put the batter in trouble. Nelson on the board, 111 for 3.
So Grewcock's bowling a third over here. You'd imagine Kopat will bowl out. That's going to run away, and that will be 4 more. So the over ends up conceding 13. It's another good over for the Stars, who right now have all the momentum in the contest.
Stand by your beds. Here come the ground staff.
Hopefully, for now, rain will stay away. We don't mean to sound too gloomy in what we're predicting, but looking out above us, one doesn't need to be a specialist in weather to understand that there might be something unfortunate heading our way. For now, 4 overs left in this game, which is already rain reduced. And remember, at the start of the game, there is an hour that is allowed without overs being lost. The problem is we've already used that hour. This game started 80 minutes after the scheduled start time. Gray's back on, having conceded 24 from her 2 thus far. That's just about inside the wide line.
Yep, good from the keeper, standing up. It's never easy, but it's been very impressive from Amara Carr. I think she's kept very nicely, the Devonian.
And Carr appealing there. It's clearly just come off maybe Redmayne's pad or 5-pad trouser, because it's not given as a wide.
No, she was moving around a wee bit in the crease. We'll just get the chance to have another look at it.
Yeah, it's flicked off something on the way through. It's great wicket keeping by Carr. To take that, never mind stop it, is quite something. So that's short and pulled out to deep mid wicket for 1. I'm told that it is starting to rain. Not words that you want to have whispered in your ear at a game of cricket. For now, we have 21 balls left of this innings, though, as I was explaining, as soon as we potentially go off here, the game immediately starts losing more overs. Short, hit hard towards mid-wicket, stopped on the bounce, at the expense of a single. Really enjoyed the way Jones has batted here. She's scoring at almost 2 a ball. It's almost like she's playing a different game to anybody else out there. Redmayne, for all the excellent cricketing CV that she boasts, has not found Jones's level of fluency. Short, too short, and cut away through backward point. Good fielding keeps it to 1.
Well, DLS does make it easier 9 times out of 10 for the side batting second. That's why Grace Scrivens asked the Stars to have first use of this wicket. So of course you know that if you can score nicely at the end of an innings, it does give you a little bit of momentum and makes it trickier for the side chasing.
Straight to long on from Jones, he'll get 1. So great credit to Gray, having conceded 24 off her first 2, has come back nicely to go for just 4 singles bowling at the death there, and it just stops the run of momentum that the Stars were building. So just 5 bowlers used from the Sunrisers so far. You'd expect on that basis that Kopak would come back and complete her 4. We may well see a bit more of Sophie Munro. It will indeed be Munro now from the pavilion end. Could be Munro, Kopak, and then Munro to finish off the last 3.
Well, Munro's been the most expensive, hasn't she, of the bowlers, which isn't something you say that often. But she has taken a little bit of tap going at 10 and over.
Now has the unenviable task of bowling to Emma Jones, who is looking in fine fettle, 34 of 18.
If you're Emma Jones, are you looking for that half century?
I think she's probably in the mode of batting where I don't think it will have necessarily crossed her mind. She's just going after everything with the explosivity and freedom that youth brings. The 21-year-old has looked in great shape and can't make contact there though. Carr got a glove on it but not enough. It will run away and it will be 4 byes. Jones was a long way from it. It's not easy as a keeper. You're standing up to fast medium bowling. You've got the batter moving around in a crease, causing you all sorts of visual distractions. Well, that replay to me might have looked like she'd hit it.
I thought there was bat involved there, yep.
Watching it in real time, I thought it had come off Carr's gloves. That replay suggests possibly a different story. Slower ball. Jones was on it early. It's more power than timing that gets it up to Scrivens. He makes a good tumbling stop. Keeps to 1.
Well, we've seen some very elegant strokes from Jones. That wasn't one of them. But the most important thing here is that she's ticking 35 from 20. And there's more of those grey skies up ahead as we see the wide angle. And the ground staff are poised and ready. In fact, they're just returning, so maybe the rain stopped. Good news.
Yeah, they really were like a Formula 1 pit crew out at what is now mid-off. They've headed back to their hutch as Munro gets ready to go right arm around now to Redmayne. Again, persisting with this 5-4 leg side field, so very telegraphed that Munro will not look to give Redmayne width here, or certainly shouldn't be, you'd imagine, and indeed doesn't. Redmayne just trying to work it through point, will get only 1. Partnership has gone past 50 as well, should be said, with that 4 byes at the start of the over. These two came together at 71 for 3, and as things stand, they've added 54 for the 4th wicket, coming at a pretty decent clip as well.
Indeed, and Munro to continue, just running up past the umpire, and that's a full toss, which is signalled a no ball by the umpire. Quickly spotting it, Jones was able to work it out too, because it's not easy out there in terms of the light. It's making it difficult, especially against the fast bowlers. It will be the opportunity of a free hit here, and it does represent a chance for Redmayne to hopefully put her hands through it. 29 from 33. She's played second fiddle to Jones since she's come to the middle, because Jones has been so explosive. 127 for 3 is the score, as the field just look on and survey the scene. Here is Munro bowling the next one, just tickled round the corner, very little in the way of bat, if any. Might well be signalled here as an extra. 1 run to the total. Takes the score on to 128 for 3. And here for the environment, we do have cans of drink, cans of water in cans. So Michael's not opening up anything harder than that. No, certainly not. Ever the consummate pro. This one runs past the outside edge. It's taken by the wicket keeper. 128 for 3, the score remains. Always good to furnish you with the facts, just in case you do have a good set of ears. It's great to have you with us on the live stream.
2 a ball from here gets them 154.
And I think that's a difficult chase, 155 to win. We'll wait to see if we will see the full allotted overs. This is high, up into the air it goes. It could be a catching opportunity. It is a catching opportunity, taken very nicely by Villiers, and that is the end of Jones's knock. She's on her way back for 36 from 22. It's been a lovely cameo innings. It's a great, great hand, but unfortunately her work is done as a batter. The Stars 128 for 4.
The innings of the day, no doubt, characterised by 2 sixes, including 1 6 that was so big it was almost a 10. But this is how she perishes, making room against Munro, looking to go over long on simple grab for Villiers. So just the 2 overs left now, and 150 will probably be the milestone that Stars will have their eyes on here.
Well, Alice Davidson-Richards, the new batter, can certainly hit a long ball. They have, of course, crossed when that wicket fell, so it means that the left-hander Redmayne is on strike, and Davidson-Richards will just have to look on, and languidly she does that at the non-striker's end, leaning on her bat, and the opportunity here to get something on it, but very little. And the wicket-keeper does the work, and that is a rare dot ball. Here's a chance just to see it again. She just literally got nothing on it. The ball died. Might have hit her on the head there. I think it did. Redmayne facing up, and she might pick up a boundary here. She has. She's turned it round the corner very elegantly and moves on to 38. Here's the chance just to see it again. Leg side, wasn't it, from Gray?
2-4 on the pads as well. Help yourself for a player of Redmayne's high class.
34 from 36, Redmayne.
So they've got a deep backwards square leg has gone out for that shot as well. So you've now got all 4 on the onside are out, and then it's a ring of 5 on the offside. So it'll be interesting to see if Redmayne tries to manufacture something.
5-4. Offside field as she goes offside here and looks to angle it in towards leg stump, and they take a single.
It's relatively rare that you see a field like that where everybody one side of the wicket is out, everyone on the other is in. So finally Alice Davidson-Richards comes on to strike. Of course she hasn't faced up because the wicket had fallen on the last ball of the previous over.
9 balls to go in the innings. 133 for 4 is the score. What can the Stars do here? Can they turn 1 into 2? No is the answer, because that's a good bit of work charging in from Flo Miller.
She'll be a bit relieved to get off the mark. ADR. She was out scooping for a golden duck last time the Stars played at the Oval and trying to finish off a run chase against the Vipers.
Always pleasing on the eye and a good batter to have here. The umpire will signal a wide, so we'll get to see this one again. 15 gets you to 150. We've got 8 to go in the innings, so a couple of runs each ball. They've got to try and get through these overs. Just looking at that cut-off time, it's 16:59. We're at 3 minutes to 5, so they've got to make sure they get through this over quickly. That's why the bowler was racing back to her mark, and she's going to have to do the same again here. They should be okay, but she's got to make sure that they do fizz it back in and they get into that last over of the innings. The last thing you want is any kind of repercussions. This is drilled down the ground. It might beat the fielder, and it has. Hit with great ferocity. That's what Davidson-Richards does bring to the party. She's got through the gears very nicely there. Here's the chance just to see it again. Gun barrel straight. 4 runs to Davidson Richards, who takes her score to 5. 140 for 4, 1 to go.
Crash down the ground, and that's a good over for the Stars, who, off the last 4 overs, have managed to pick up 49. 12, 13, 13, 50, beg your pardon. 12, 13, 13 and 12. It's been a really good purposeful acceleration towards the back end of this innings.
Well, you turned into Noel Edmonds and the banker and asked me if it was deal or no deal, and I said no deal, and I'm pretty pleased with that now. 140 for 4 is the score. Still a set of 6 to come here, and it's going to be interesting to see how they finish things off here, the Sunrisers. This is leg side, out backward of square on that leg side, and they'll take 1. And I think that's a good decision from Redmayne, because she's ticking, but Davidson Richards can be explosive. She'll take a guard from Ben Peveril, our umpire. Gabby Brown also out there. And the good news is, everybody, we've got a little bit of sun.
Yes, the showers that we were fearing for now appear to have relented.
Quite brilliant. The only bad news is, when we have a look at our screens, those clouds really do look as if they could deposit at any time. Working the ball out here to the fielder on the leg side, they take 1. I'm glad we're behind glass.
Yeah, I completely understand if you're sat at home thinking, what on earth are these two people talking about? But I promise you, if you were here, you'd be thinking the same. And it's that classic 4 seasons in a day kind of English summer vibe.
Yeah, indeed. It is the joys of the British summer. We've not really seen it as yet, have we? Leg side this time. Could be a catching opportunity. It's going to fall just short, and Redmayne will take another 1 and bring Davidson Richards on to strike here. You're thinking to yourself, if you could go 2 boundaries from the 3 balls that are on offer, it gets you past that 150 mark. 1 maybe. Davidson Richards is an excellent back twirler. We had the opportunity to see it there. Alex Stewart used to do it with such great effect on this ground. I'm all in favour of that. 143 for 4 is the score. 3 to go. Here's Davidson Richards elevating. It should pierce and beat the field, and it's going to be 6 more runs. Don't worry about 2 4s. If you can hit a 6 there, it's at least 150 to win, and there's still 2 balls to go. Let's rerun the fun.
Great shot from ADR. Overpitched in the slot. Eats it with a straight bat, and then the bottom hand comes through to provide the support and the power. That's a strong, elegant, brilliant cricket shot. 12
from 4 for Davidson Richards. This has been a good hand at the end of the inning. She's facing up again, a long way outside off stump. She'll take 1. She wants to strike here, and there's going to be the opportunity for Redmayne to turn. Can she get back? Yes is the answer. That's good running between the 2 batters. It takes the score past 150. 151 for 4 the score. There's still 1 to go. What can Davidson Richards do?
Yeah, excellent hustle. Alert to the game situation. Important to, in the form that she's in, get ADR back on strike for this last ball for the Stars.
And Davidson Richards is facing up here, looking to try and hit another boundary. She drills the ball down the ground. It's going to bring Long on into play. They take 1. They're going to try and race through for a second. Davidson Richards would have been in trouble had the wicketkeeper been able to grasp the ball as it was thrown in. Unfortunately, from a Sunrisers perspective, Amara Carr couldn't do just that. But it does take the score on to 153 for 4, which means that 154 wins it. I have to say, I think that's going to be a tough ask for the Sunrisers.
South East Stars the favourites, no doubt, and that card tells the tale of 4 very nice cameos built around a solid anchoring effort by Georgia Redmayne in her first Stars game of the campaign. Smith with 21 and almost 2 a ball up top. Franklin was steady alongside Redmayne, and then when trying to accelerate. And Jones with the innings of the day, despite not being top scorer, of 36 off 23, hit 2 sixes, including 1 massive 6 that went quite literally into the stands. Redmayne with a very solid 38 unbeaten, and Alice Davidson Richards at the end with a valuable 16 off 6. So it'll be a steep chase for the Sunrisers. His bowling attack took some punishment. Gray conceding 40 off her 4. Villiers was the pick of them, 2 for 23 of her 4 going under a run of ball, and Kopak kept things relatively tight. I must say, I was more than a bit surprised that we didn't see Kate Kopak come back to bowl her 4th at the end of the innings. 1 for 18 of 3 for her. So at the midway point, the Stars will fancy their chances. Worth saying they took 62 of the last 6 overs of that innings, going at more than 10 and over, and that has put them very much in the ascendancy here at mid-innings. They posted 153 for 4 of 18. We'll be back with a run chase very shortly.
And welcome back. There is the match summary. The South East Stars having first use of the wicket, 153 for 4. They've put on the board. Redmayne undefeated on 38 at the end. It was a very impressive knock. And as Michael mentioned, some cameos throughout the innings as well to take it up to that score. 154 is the victory target. You have to think to yourself it's going to be a real stiff chase for the Sunrisers. If they do win it, they'll have done remarkably well, and they'll fully deserve to take the points on offer. The Stars will look to make early inroads with the ball. This is Jamie Reid. Talking you through the first 5 overs will be Michael McCann.
Thanks very much, Jamie. So it is over more than 8 and over that is required, and for a Sunrisers batting lineup that hasn't performed as they might have liked across this T20 campaign, it's quite an ask. You would think if they're to really make an assault on the target, this pair could do with getting them off to a cracking start in the power play that is 5.2 overs long. Stonehouse to bowl the first ball, the reply, shaping back in, very nice spot to be in. Just blocked out. Won't get anything off that first one then. Villiers straight to Smith. Villiers going down to do a bit of gardening. There's a square leg and a third. The 2 deep fielders. 5-4 offside field for Stonehouse. Shaping back in. Straight to Stapleton Richards at mid-on. The absence of Chloe Hill today for the Stars means Georgia Redmayne is behind the sticks. Will take confidence from how she batted with that 38 unbeaten. Smashed away by Villiers, could be out, and held at deep square leg. That was travelling like an absolute rocket. But it is a third ball duck for Maddie Villiers. Stonehouse gets the breakthrough. A really good catch out there. And the Sunrisers already needing what looked like a very tough target of 154 to win. Lose a wicket before scoring a run.
Well, you can't keep Jones out of the game. Not only did she do it with the bat, she's picked up a brilliant catch there, using all of her height. Stonehouse banging it into the surface. Plenty of power into that shot, and that is expertly judged there by Jones in the deep.
Emma Jones earlier on with 36 off 23, and then holds that as well. So Grace Scrivens yet to face a ball, the Sunrisers skip. And he's joined by Lizzie McLeod, who hit a 50 earlier on in the T20 campaign in the defeat at New Road at Worcester against the Central Sparks. And how they could do with a bit more where that came from here, the Sunrisers. McLeod taking a leg stump guard, same field, still a deep square leg and a deep third. Scrivens, Sunrisers' third highest run scorer this season. McLeod their second. And McLeod will get off the mark immediately with 4. Short from Stonehouse. Not a best delivery, and Lizzie McLeod put that one away really nicely. So finally, belatedly having lost that wicket off the third ball of the innings, Sunrisers get their run tally up and going. W appeals, but with the swing was probably going down leg. They scamper through for 1, so Grace Scrivens will now finally get to face up to her first delivery.
And with that early dismissal, Villiers making her way back, it does put a lot of pressure on the captain. We know just how good she is, Grace Scrivens. She's excellent at her tender years. She's only going to get better as a cricketer, but it puts pressure on the top order when you lose that early one. Not ideal for Sophia Dunkley. She's got pigeons all around. Sorry, I thought we were going to stop. We had a stop-start.
Stonehouse driven straight to cover. Scrivens just 20 years old. He's skippering this Sunrisers team, who had an excellent season in 50 over cricket. They're top of the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy with 4 wins from 619 points thus far, but have found the T20 campaign tougher going, and they're finding this one tough going. 5 for 1 after the first over, and you would think a lot is going to be on this pair here, because Joe Gardner is Sunrisers' highest run scorer in T20 cricket this season. I'm a touch surprised Joe Gardner hasn't opened here, but Scrivens and McLeod are 2 and 3 when it comes to that. So you would think that chasing a big target like this, I'll need a significant contribution from one of, if not both of these two.
Yeah, I think you're hoping somebody makes a half century here, and all eyes, I think, will probably be on Scrivens. If you could pick one of these two up early, it puts you really in the driving seat.
Starts hunting another breakthrough as we get going from Vauxhall Road end in the reply. Like to start with. Donald Gay on, part of that England under-19 side that had quite the run at the World Cup last year. Taking 4 wickets in 6 games, has played for the England A side as well. Again, can't find a radar there. Getting plenty of outswing, so there's good signs if she can just straighten the line up here. A bit Rhiannon McDonald-Gay, who's played hockey to a very good level as well, as played hockey for the England under-18s. Does have a 5 for this season, 5 for 31 against the Blaze. Another wide though from McDonald-Gay. Same field as in the first over, deep square leg and a deep third and 2 out. 5-4 offside field. Remember, of course, if you're just joining us, Stars have already booked their spot. Finals day next Saturday. Better ball from McDonald-Gay. It might well have taken a wicket. It should have. It has. 8 for 2. So McDonald-Gay, after 3 wides, gets it right. And Lizzie McLeod has to depart for just 4. The Sunrisers are in all sorts of bother. Both opening bowlers have a wicket for the Stars. Sunrisers find themselves 8 for 2. Simple catch for Redmayne.
It really was. She just needed to make sure that she judged it perfectly. It's a skyer. Here is the wicketkeeper in pursuit, right underneath it and watching it into the wicketkeeper's gloves. Very, very impressive, getting the opportunity. Georgia Redmayne in this game and taking full advantage. Good with the bat, good in the field so far. It's been the dream start, hasn't it, for the Stars?
So that is the back of McLeod seen for the Stars. McLeod, Sunrisers' second highest run scorer in T20 cricket this season, and in terms of strike rate, their most effective top order batter. She's out for just 4 off 3. So Mara Carr joins Grace Scrivens out there. Carr, who's more of a steadying hand. That right now is what Sunrisers need. Good channel from Donald-Gay. Bringing that outside off, but very much well inside that blue line that's being used as a guide on wides.
Kept really low, didn't it, that delivery? You could see the way the wicketkeeper had to take it. A reminder, if you are a fan of Surrey cricket, the men play in the Vitality Blast later, down at Hove against Sussex.
Again, McDonald-Gay just straying too far outside that wide line.
Yeah, this is a long over, isn't it, with the 4 wides.
McDonald-Gay, who's so far in T20 cricket this season, has picked up 5 wickets, 17 overs, an economy rate of 6.8. Guided by Carr to mid-off for no run. Donald-Gay, when it comes to this particular format, the Stars' 4th highest wicket taker this season. Courtine Coleman has 10. Farron, who's not playing today, has 7, as does Danny Gregory. would have been a wide. Carr instead toe-ins it down to deep third for 1, so she's off the mark. We still have 2 balls of the over left.
Well, you mentioned about toe ending it. She did remarkably well just to get something on it. She had to throw the bat out and it just trickled down to third. Guy's got the long lens out away to our right hand side. He looks an experienced sports photographer.
Scrivens still yet to score, and again McDonald-Gay just collapsing that front shoulder towards the offside of the right-hander, or towards the leg side of Scrivens. He's just got to try and work through that alignment, and it's even trickier in some ways when you're then bowling to a left-hander. I'll have to re-bowl that one. Good take from Redmayne. Not easy there for Georgia Redmayne. You're starting outside off because, particularly with the batter in the way, you need to be able to see the ball out of hand, and then you're having to dart down the leg side. So we've had 6 wides in this over.
You learn best, don't you, out in the middle, and you can see Alice Davidson-Richards just saying to Rhiannon McDonald-Gay, don't panic, don't worry too much. Bryony Smith said it when another wide was called earlier in the over.
McDonald-Gay's coming right arm around now, and is flicked away. Danny Gregory does the fielding, keeps it to 1 down at deep fine leg. So there is 1 ball left of this over, which you could forgive McDonald-Gay for being eager to just bowl and be done with. Has been a successful over regardless, because she's picked up the big wicket of Lizzie McLeod. It's a lovely delivery to finish off that has Carr playing and missing outside the off stump. So that eventful over ends up bringing 8 runs and another wicket. 2 overs gone, 13 for 2.
And I think you really focus on the positives, and that's exactly what Alice Davidson-Richards is saying again. You just see on the back of the shirt, ADR. Always a nightmare for anybody having to input a long name like Davidson-Richards. So she's got ADR, which is how she's commonly known, and that's a great bit of work to a fellow teammate.
Just using her experience. Someone who's a very positive cricketer and a big vibrant influence on a group like the Stars. Stonehouse to continue, and he's cut away beautifully for 4 by Scrivens. First boundary of the innings for the Sunrisers captain. A classical cricket shot executed to perfection.
Best shot of the innings so far. The best shot of the game was that towering 6 by Jones. That was so impressive to see, but you have to say very elegant there from Scrivens. I've been impressed with her this season.
Scrivens has, before this innings, 156 runs in this format at 22. It's that one straight to mid-off. A strike rate of a tickle under a run a ball. It was particularly impressive in the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy competition. A big part of the Sunrisers being top of the table in that.
If you're a bowler, I think you're desperate to get on here. I'm sure Courtine Coleman will be itching to get involved.
Stonehouse into the pads. Very muted leg side appeals. They've clearly decided this track has got something in it for the seamers with the new ball, because Courtine Coleman, Stars' top wicket taker in this format this season, has always tended to bowl an over at least, if not 2, in the power play, but we haven't seen her yet. It's just nibbled away by Scrivens for 1. Stonehouse is getting noticeable shape and movement on the ball here from the pavilion end.
You would think to yourself that there will be a bowling change at this Vauxhall end, and Courtine Coleman will put her hand up to want to be involved. Big players do, despite being so young in age. She wants to play a dominant part, and that's power to her elbow.
Bouncer. Guided away by Carr for 1 out to deep square leg. One of the 2 sweepers allowed out. Just One left in this over from Stonehouse already. That acquired run rate just starting to creep up. It's at almost 9 and over. It had started the innings at a tickle over 8. Driven by Scrivens circumspectly. End of a good over from Stonehouse. She concedes just 5 from it, 6 off it in total, including the leg bye. And the Sunrisers are already 10 behind where the Stars were at this stage, and they've lost a wicket more.
Well, you can see the worm there on the graphic, and you have to think to yourself, they're falling behind, aren't they? We had a couple of wickets upcoming for the South East Stars, but the way they've been able to start here, they'll be pleased to have picked up those 2 wickets, and as we thought might be the case, Courtine Coleman will get an opportunity.
Yep, Tilly Courtine Coleman, who was drafted by Charlotte Edwards in her Southern Brave 100 squad before even playing for the South East Stars, and it was after that happened that she was elevated into the South East Stars senior squad, and my goodness me, what an impact she's made. 4 wickets in 4 against the Diamonds with that 5 for. And she might have another one here from her very first ball. She does! Tilly Courtine Coleman yet again, the Stars' top wicket taker of the campaign. The 16-year-old strikes once more. Carr is out for just 2, and Sunrisers are 19 for 3. The left-arm magician is at it again.
Well, the best players write their own scripts. We're just going to get the chance to see it again. Straight into the attack, picking up that wicket. She is tall, she does get that bounce, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She's a fine purveyor of wicket-taking deliveries, and when you can be as good as she is at such a young age, what a career beckons.
I think the only thing that might have saved Carr was height, but that replay suggested the ball skidded on and was smashing into middle and leg about 3/4 of the way up. So it's a sorry looking batting card for Sunrisers. Do you wonder whether well, we haven't seen Joe Gardner so far, because it won't be Gardner again here. It's Suren Kumar, 3 Stars bowlers with a wicket early on in proceedings in the reply. Courtine Coleman again, that's cut straight at Cranstone at point. English Cranstone back in the side today, was carded at 7, so didn't get the opportunity to bat. It's always an impressive fielder in that backward point region. Knocked back, more good stuff from Courtine Coleman, and already you can see that run rate required jumping up even in this over. Suren Kumar this time will get 1. Tumbling good stop by Stonehouse. Had it got through on this outfield, which even after the rain is pretty quick, probably would have gone for 4. Suren Kumar off the mark. Suren Kumar has the highest strike rate of any Sunrisers batter this season. Scrivens will get 1 here out to the deep set mid-wicket. And just to give you an idea of the impact Courtine Coleman has made, she now has 11 wickets in this competition this season, and this is only the 22nd over she's bowled, so she's taking on average a wicket every other over. She almost had another there as well. Suren Kumar pulling one that wasn't that short. End of the over, just 2 off it and a wicket. Tilly Courtine Coleman takes her T20 victims to 11 for this season, and after 4 overs, Sunrisers are 21 for 3.
Blue skies again, you can see a little bit of cloud above, and it's not going to be easy, this chase. We feared that that would be the case if you are a Sunrisers follower. If you are a follower of the South East Stars, so far so good. There's going to be another bowling change here, but it really has been very, very impressive. Stonehouse bowled nicely. Jones is going to get an opportunity. She's been great in the game so far. What can she do with the ball?
Yeah, it's always nice when you're an all-rounder and you've excelled in one of your skill sets. It gives you confidence to carry on into the other. Jones making just her second appearance in T20 cricket this season. The other one was against Sunrisers, where she picked up 2 wickets. He's hunting more wickets here, but he's driven out to Cranston. Comes round from cover point, keeps it to 1.
Well, Cranstone is an excellent fielder in that position. She thought about shying for the stumps. In the end, she did have a little go, but there was no real pace in the throw, and the batters were quickly through anyway. Change in the field.
So Courtine Coleman right now, for a Stars bowler this season, has the most wickets, the best strike rate and the best economy rate.
Wow.
That is what you call an impact on her debut season. It's Jones short. Swen Kumar just jabs it away to mid-wicket.
She brought the bottom hand into play there to tickle it round the corner, but no real purchase. It didn't sound good off the bat. Caught it quite high up.
Comes down the track this time. And then he's called through for a quick single. Shy at the stumps, had it hit from Cranston. It might well have been out. Suren Kumar was not sure where the ball had gone. Scrivens, her captain, said we'll have one. And they just about get through.
Yep, Jones looked to try and divert the ball onto the stumps, but it was thrown with such great power by Cranstone, made it difficult for the bowler.
Short and just blocked away by Scrivens. He's on 7 of 11.
Good from Jones there, just pushing the batter back. She started nicely with the ball in hand, which is good to see. All of the hardy folks who've stayed around after those heavy downpours at the start of this game, getting full value here with this fixture now.
That's toe-ended out to deep point for 1 more, so a lot of dots and singles here, which is great for the Stars. That required run rate is already pushing towards 10.
Yeah, you're at least a boundary and over, aren't you, at this stage? And you're thinking to yourself, you've then got to hit 1s and 2s all around, so you've got to almost score off every ball.
That's smashed away. He's going to plug, though. It wasn't quite timed. The sound off the bat wasn't quite that absolute pure lever on Willow, but Suren Kumar gets 2 for her intent. So the over concedes 5, and with 5 gone, it's 26 for 3. Jones goes for just 4 with that leg by as well.
Well, they've got to make sure that they start picking up boundaries and picking up boundaries quickly. Looks like the keeper is going to stand up here, the helmet just making its way out.
Yeah, but it will be Phoebe Franklin, so Courtine Coleman comes off. Does like to shuffle her pack, Bryony Smith, and having an attack with such variety helps her do that. Worth saying that wicket for Courtine Coleman takes her on to 11 in the competition this season. Maddie Villiers, taking 2 in the first innings, took her onto that figure. There is 4 players that currently have 11. Just 4 have more than that. So that gives you an idea of how brilliant Courtine Coleman's been.
Franklin gets the opportunity to bowl here, turned round the corner, and it's going to be 4 welcome runs. Has it carried over for 6? It has. It might just have hit the rope on the way through. It matters none. The only thing that does is that the umpire has signalled Gabby Brown that it has gone over, and 6 has been awarded. So that's exactly what they need. Boundaries, they need maximums, and Scrivens has provided here against the new bowler. What can Franklin do? Where is the response? The DLS pass score is 46. They're way away from that, but they're going to pick up another run here, which will take the score on to 33 for 3.
So that was the first boundary in 18 balls, which in the context of what is a tough run chase, and it is an overs reduced game, gives you an idea of what good pressure the Stars have been building.
Well, the power play now 5.2 overs, so 33 runs have been scored, and those 3 wickets crucially have been picked up. So you have to say the South East Stars will be delighted to have their opponents 33 for 3. And here is the right-hander who's hit the ball to third. It's just going to evade Danny Gregory. They'll take one. They'll try and come back for the second. It's not there. It went looping up into the air. Gregory was instantly on her bike. She couldn't stop that second run, or stop the second run, but couldn't take the catch. And they're just rotating the strike, looking to score where they can.
So that's 10 runs worse than the Stars managed, and they've lost a wicket more.
Scrivens facing up once more to Franklin, pushing down the track to the fielder ADR, Alice Davidson-Richards, who's at long on, and they take one.
For context, those numbers comparing the power play. Stars 33, Stars 43 for 2 off 5.2, Sunrisers 33 for 3.
And a reminder that it would be 6 overs, the power play, if we were playing over 20 overs a side. It's been reduced this contest to 18 per side. Good from Franklin there as it just runs past the outside edge. The wicketkeeper whips the bells off, but that back leg was unmoved. 35 for 3 it remains.
I'm still in a happy state of disbelief we've got so much cricket in. It's a great credit to the ground staff we have.
Yep, they've worked remarkably well to get us out there, and it's a real tiring challenge. This is going to race away to the boundary's edge, cutting a wide one and working the ball down to the boundary and picking up those 4 runs. A good way to end that over for the Sunrisers. Here it is again, bit of width on offer, cutting it uppishly, but picking up the 4 runs. She's very strong in that regard, Suran Kumar, and she takes her score on to 8. Scrivens 16 not out at the other end. You can see that the Sunrisers are behind on the worm, and there was that upwards trajectory, which makes it very difficult for the Sunrisers to keep it going. After 18 overs, of course, the Stars scored 153 for 4. And now a change of bowling back at the other end is Tilly Courtine-Coleman. A reminder that she started with a wicket first time out. She's now into her second over. And the first one, as you come to expect of somebody of such quality, is going to be a dot. This time just dabbing the ball and picking up a single. This is tight. It's very, very good running, you have to say. She got through very quickly, Suran Kumar, and she needed to, because it was thrown low down towards the stumps, and the wicketkeeper did some nice work there. Good running, another run to the total, but there's still huge work to do. The run rate 6.32, the required rate 9.77, and that shows that runs are required, and quickly, as Courtine-Coleman continues, looking to try and get plenty of bat and bring long on into the game. All that happens is it just wraps the pad. It was going a long way wide off the leg stump. No thoughts of an appeal. 40 for 3, the score remains. This is a quicker delivery, this time an LBW shout, turned down by the umpire.
Well, you are watching a young master at work. Turned 17 later on this summer, but it's already clear is quite the threat.
Mixes up her pace nicely. A couple of quick steps. She knew very little about that, the batter. She's going to pick up 1. They might turn it to 2. They're going to go on the bowler's arm. It's arrowed in. I tell you what, Jones has got a quick arm, and had the wicketkeeper been able to take that cleanly, there could have been trouble ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't easy for Redmayne. The throw was just 1.5 yards to her left, so end up a long way from the stumps. That one again comes off the inside edge, straight to short fine leg. Suran Kumar sets off this time and zinged in, and Suran Kumar is relieved to regain her ground. Just a dot, but an eventful dot to end the over. 42 for 3 off 7 then.
Good from Stonehouse, wasn't it? The Stars have been very impressive in the field. We're going to get the opportunity to see Danny Gregory, so we're going to have spin at both ends. And they've got to try and manufacture some boundaries here, the Sunrisers. Scrivens ticking, 17 from 16. Suran Kumar looking to give her good company at the other end, 10 from 14. But boundaries are required, and quickly, if the Sunrisers are to make a successful chase.
Already above 10 and over required. Of course, Stars looking to complete the double, having beaten Sunrisers at Lord's last week. And Danny Gregory, just the perfect player to bring on in a scenario like this. The Stars' second highest wicket taker in the campaign as well, with her leggies.
Gabby Brown, the umpire, looks on as she bowls this first one to Grace Scrivens, who turns it round the corner. They take one.
Gregory will mix up her pace well, and is someone that knows this oval pitch very well.
Yeah, another one who thinks about the game, Danny Gregory. Always looks to try and be involved at any given opportunity. She's going to get the chance to bowl a set here, a good set, as this one beats the bat, but misses the stumps, and through it goes to the keeper. 43 for 3 the score.
I think there's every chance we'll see 4 overs of Gregory straight through from this Vauxhall then, just to try and put the squeeze on.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if not. It will make it difficult if you get through the overs. Blimey, she's banged that into the surface. It's bounced. Fortunately, it hasn't bounced again, so she kind of got away with that.
Yeah, the ball just got stuck in her hand, as it sometimes can do for a spinner.
We must remember the conditions not easy for bowlers. You can see Danny Gregory, when you look from behind, does have the towel there if required. Turning it round the corner, that should be a wicket, and is. And unfortunately, it's not been the easiest of games here, certainly with bat in hand for Suren Kumar, and she is on her way back. Caught by Stonehouse, who's been good in the field. Gregory's picked up a wicket in her first, and the stay is at an end for 10. Sunrisers in all manner of bother. They're 43 for 4.
Well, it got to that point, the required run rate above 10. Danny Gregory bowling well. A feeling that she had to try and do something unconventional, trying to get over that fielder at short third, but ends up paying the price for a slightly tough 10 off 17 where she never quite got going. So Scrivens needs a new partner. We'll get that in the form of Grucock, who thus far in T20 cricket this season has 94 runs at an average of 13. Going to tickle over a run a ball. That card tells its own story. Sunrisers as a collective unit in real bother.
I think that's Flo Miller, isn't it, who's come out? So you wonder if Joe Gardner's going to bat.
Yeah, that would suggest to me that Gardner's picked up an injury, because she's consistently opened really well for the Sunrisers this season.
Danny Gregory to continue, just opening up the face and working the ball down to third. Stonehouse again in the game. Miller is the new batter, the youngster who's come through the academy with the Sunrisers, wanting to try and play a part, but these fielders are all on their A game, wanting to try and pick up another wicket, and they might get one here. This has gone high, looping up into the air, and it's a caught and bowled opportunity for Gregory. She took the initiative. The wicket-keeper wanted it as well. Danny Gregory, like a police person, just said, let me take charge. I'm in control here. And Gregory has taken a catch to make it 2 wickets in the over. What an introduction it's been from the spinner. The Sunrisers 43 for 5.
The braided wonder does it again. 2 wickets in 3 balls for Danny Gregory. It's a swipe across the line from Miller. Top edge catch. And Gregory quite content to take it herself and prove the correct decision. So a 2-ball duck for Flo Miller. It goes from bad to worse for the Sunrisers, who find themselves 43 for 5, and with us suspecting a potential injury to Gardner, we will now get to see her bat at number 7. We'll be interested to try and dig out the full story on this, because I saw Gardner fielding right into the back end of the Stars' batting innings, so it wasn't like she was off for an extensive period of time with an injury, we don't think. But she is out now at the non-strikers.
Jones is back at the pavilion end and wanting to get straight involved as Scrivens just opens the face. Can Courtine Coleman cut this one off? No is the answer. So 4 runs to the Sunrisers skipper. She's looked to be the best batter on show in the run chase so far. Here's a chance just to see it again. Made a little bit of room, opened up that offside and picks up 4 welcome runs. Scrivens just needs a partner. She needs somebody to give her a little bit of support out there in the middle. Is this the partnership? It needs to be. 47 for 5. What has Jones got in her armoury? She's on her way, running up past Ben Peveril, the umpire. That's wide, and it's going to be signalled by the umpire. Perfect sunshine. When you think to yourself it's 5:45 in the evening, you wouldn't necessarily think that's the case as a bus goes whizzing by on Harleyford Road. Jones will get the opportunity to bowl this latest one, this next one again. People looking on in expectation, and that's an opportunity dropped. Would you believe it? Cranstone is always very good in that position, but she's put one down. We'll get another look and a chance to just see it again. Here we go. Here's the replay. It was uppish. Jones almost drew the batter into a stroke, and Cranstone, unfortunately, unable to hold on. It went in and then it went out, and it is a life. 49 for 5, one away from the half century. Here is Gardner facing up very elegantly, works it down to third, and Sunrisers bringing up the 50, but unfortunately they're only doing it in the 9th over. They're getting towards the halfway stage of this 18 over run chase. 50 for 5. It looks a long way off, doesn't it, the victory target? They still need a further 104.
Well, currently going at less than a run a ball, and they need more than 10 and over.
Jones charging in past the umpire, creating a little bit of room there was Gardner, or Scrivens, sorry, the left-hander, and working the ball up the track to mid-on. No thoughts of a single. All Gardner can do is watch on, leaning onto her bat languidly at the non-striker's end. As Scrivens, who's been busy, faces up with that high raising of the bat, catches it low down. They're going to race through for a single. A shy at the stumps. Had Bryony hit, Bryony Smith, the captain, that would have been good night Vienna, I'm sure of that. 51 for 4 the score. 5, sorry.
Well, it's the kind of single that at this stage in the run chase, Scrivens probably feels like she's got to take on. But hit it straight at Smith, who gathered cleanly. And it's not far off a brilliant run out.
The next ball is on leg stump. Backing away was Gardner, looking to try and give herself room to hit it through the offside. She didn't put it out as she would have liked. And Jones has bowled the one wide in the over, but that is the end of it. Gregory is going to continue twirling away at this end. And again, the graph and the worm just shows that they are falling a long way short. Those 2 wickets in the last over didn't help. And that upwards trajectory at the end of the innings for the Stars is going to make it so difficult for Scrivens. She needs a partner. This might be the partnership, but they've got to start hitting boundaries and quickly.
Deep set leg side field for Gregory. That's just a deep cover as protection out on the offside.
Halfway through the innings, 51 for 5 is the score. 103 further runs required, 54 balls to get them. That's going to race past the advancing dive of Bryony Smith and down to the boundary's edge. There's 4 of them.
It's a great shot from Scrivens. Over pitch delivery from Gregory. Means that Scrivens can smother the spin easily enough. Get it through extra cover.
Well, she does think hard about the game, Scrivens. That's why she wears the captain's armband. 28 from 22. Facing up here to Gregory, who bowls a full toss. And this is going to be raced away. Will it be stopped by the fielder? No is the answer. Franklin looked like she might get in behind it, but it just evades her grasp, and it's back-to-back boundaries. Scrivens motoring.
Yeah, Scrivens kicking into gear here. She is a player certainly capable of going through them. Danger here for Stars.
Gregory needs to come back strongly here, having conceded those 8 runs so far. What can she produce? Scrivens just working the ball to third, looking to try and back up. Was Gardner at the non-striker's end. She quickly had to make her way back. 95 more runs wins it. 51 balls remaining in the innings. Gregory to continue. Outside off stump it is. Cranstone will do the fielding.
Just looks like in the last couple of overs or so, there's been a real step up of intent from Scrivens.
Well, she must feel like she's got to do it on her own out there because nobody's been able to offer support. She's got more than half the runs, 32 of the 59. And here she is this time going leg side off the wicket, working it out to deep square. They take one.
Well, the one thing you would say, if you're clutching at signs of optimism for the Sunrisers, is that Jo Gardner, who's taking Garden out, is the 5th highest run scorer in this competition this season. She is somebody, when she gets going, can in her own right be a real threat to an opposition.
I just don't see Sunrisers winning this one. You've got to try and keep it open as a contest, and Sunrisers have got to continue scoring runs and quickly. Another dot, that creates its own problems. A nice way to end the over. 10 gone in the innings. They're running along at 6 and over. They've got to be a lot better than that. There is the run rate. You can see there haven't been them big overs. There hasn't been the kind of positive impact that they'll be looking for. It hasn't helped that they've picked up so many wickets. There is the wagon wheel. You can see where the runs are being scored in the innings. 60 for 5, still needing 94 to win.
So Scrivens and Gardner off in the opening combination, together trying to rebuild in the middle. Courtine Coleman is back. 1 for 5 of her 2 so far. She's being sliced away off the outside edge. A single. Gardner has 213 runs in this competition at an average above 30 and a strike rate above a run a ball. 5th highest run scorer in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season. Sunrisers need a few more runs from her here. She'll get 1 out too long on. Only Paige Schofield of the South East Stars, who's been rested today. Emma Lamb of Thunder, Georgia Elwes of the Vipers, and Catherine Bryce of the Blaze, of course, is what I mean. We've got more runs than Gardner, so that's straight to backward point. So if, and it is an if, because one would suspect maybe there's an injury for Gardner, which is why she's down at 7 here. If Gardner could get through the gears and Scrivens can too, maybe the Sunrisers can still have a shot at this. Scrivens on the reverse, gets it out to short third. That could be tight. I think she has just about made it for the, it was a dicey looking quick single. Just dribbled away. It might have even come off the pad of Redmayne. And takes it well, but that replay confirms very much been made. Pushes it through quicker, pulled straight to deep square leg, so 1 more. Single's very much not what the Sunrisers need. Every ball that doesn't go for 2 here really pushes that required run rate up. Remember, of course, there's 2 games left for Stars after today. Stars on the road for their last couple of T20 games. Away against Blaze tomorrow at Derby, and then away against the Southern Vipers next Wednesday. And then Stars will head to finals day at Derby next Saturday, the 22nd. Short, out to deep cover for 1. So Scrivens has 36. Sunrisers still a long way behind in the contest, though, despite their captain's best efforts. Just 5 off the over. The 16-year-old Tilly Courtine Coleman once again delivering exactly what her side need. She has 1 for 10 off her 3. 5 conceded, 65 for 5 off 11, so still going at under a run a ball. Sunrisers. Gregory, unsurprisingly, is continuing. I'd expect she'll bowl out from this Vauxhall Road, and this is her 3rd. 1 for 11 off 2 so far. Flighted, hit hard down the ground. Shot of the innings from Scrivens, and one of the shots of the match. Straight drive, perfect precision, weight transfer, flow of the bat through the ball. That's a great shot. Gives Gregory something to think about.
It really does. Scrivens has made it look ridiculously easy at times. 40 from 31, but she's played better than that for me.
that has been played with wickets almost constantly falling around her. She'll get one more here out to long off. It's been a theme for Sunrise's career so far, has often played some really important innings at crucial moments, both in T20 and 50 over cricket, when wickets have been sometimes falling around her and the chase has been very dependent on the youngster. Flighted teasing Gardner, who came down the pitch, met it nicely, wants two. Definitely not two there. Good aggressive fielding. Quick release throw prevents the prospect of a second. It's good hustle out there by Rihanna McDonald-Gay. Short hit hard by Scrivens, trying to get it in the gap between long on and deep mid-wicket. She hasn't though. Davison Richards does the fielding, one more. So that required run rate has now gone above 2 a ball. Smashed back past Gregory for 4. Great shot from Gardner. That's the kind of explosive power that has made her the 5th highest run scorer in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season. Gets her first boundary of this innings, having surprisingly come out at number 7. Trying to inject some impetus into the Sunrisers innings. That's a good way to do it. Great shot.
It's woken everybody up. That was hit with great ferocity.
Gregory ducking for cover. Gardner guides that straight to point. Won't get a single there. So the over goes for 11 and leaves 13 and over needed off the last 6. So even that over, a very productive one for the Sunrisers. Picking up 11 is still not good enough for what is required from here on in.
Still 78 more needed, and you think to yourself, you've only got to look at that run rate, the way it is, the way it stands. All of the aces in the South East Stars pack, and on top of everything else, they've got some fine bowlers. Probably a good chance to get Rihanna back on. Rihanna McDonald-Gay, she was slightly expensive, wasn't she, first time up, and had the opportunity to bowl all of those wides. Hopefully she'll be better in this latest over.
McDonald-Gay on this time from the pavilion end, had bowled her first over from the Vauxhall end. That's hit hard straight to Jones at deep cover for 1. It's a curious one because on the face of it, the over conceded just 8 runs and picked up the key wicket of Izzy McLeod, but it doesn't quite tell the story. 12 attempted deliveries, 6 wides, all when just losing her alignment and straying outside the off stump to the right-hander, outside leg to the lefty. Gardner sets off on a foot race, wanting 2 in the inner ring. McDonald-Gay was alert to the game situation, knew that she had to do it herself to ensure no prospect of the second.
Well, she's come back positively here, which is always good. If you go expensive first time up, you look to try and go back. She bowled the 2 that went for 19, just 2 so far off the first 2 of this one.
Hit hard, hit straight and hit true by Scrivens for 4. She's very good, not even necessarily in the V, but in that very straight V, as was demonstrated again there. Lovely shot.
Well, I want the Stars to win, make no doubt about that. I'm like all of you watching on the live stream, or the majority of you. But this has been a great knock from Scrivens. I'm enjoying it. I'm sure you all are too.
She's 3 short of a 50. Would be a well-deserved one. Get it here. Jams down on that one. Those ones that sometimes you can see dribble back onto the stumps. Grace Scrivens, who has a best of 64 unbeaten in T20 cricket this season. That coming against the Diamonds on the 2nd of June at Northampton. It was key in the Sunrisers winning that by 4 wickets off the final ball in an epic chase. She'd love a bit of a repeat of that here. You're listening to the live stream of Sunrisers versus Stars in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Enjoying some brilliant cricket here, and grateful we are to have it as well, given how terrible the weather looked earlier on. That's a low full toss, smashed by Gardner, who'll be frustrated because she's picked out deep square leg. Only get one. Throw needs some backing up after it escaped through. Jones has got a rocket arm out there in the deep. The over concedes 8. 84 for 5 off 13, so it's another good over for Sunrisers in a conventional scenario. The problem is they're in the unconventional scenario of needing comfortably more than 2 a ball now. The partnerships tell a story. Scrivens and Gardner have almost doubled the score since they came together. They've added 41 unbroken for the 6th wicket. They've added 41 from 30 balls. Courtine Coleman will complete her 4 overs. Starts by being driven. Fields well off her own bowling at half stop, ensuring there'll only be a single.
It's all got a bit dark again, Michael.
Yes, it's starting to look slightly ominous again, we fear. Sliced off the outside edge straight to short third. Had it been gathered cleanly by Stonehouse, might have been a prospect of a run out. Instead they're contemplating a run on the misfield, which they don't take. Just one more, so that required run rate really starting to rocket up now. It's 2.5 a ball required. We're in and around 15 and over. Short just nibbled away. 2 deep backward square for 1.
Well, we mentioned about the threat of rain. England's men, the defending champions, needing victory, of course, over Namibia to avoid T20 World Cup exit, have been frustrated by the weather in that one.
Makes room. Beautiful looking drive straight to extra cover. So just to confirm, is that a full washout? Because
no, I don't think it's a full washout.
I was going to say, if it were to be, they would be out of that.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is at this stage.
Need a win to stay in the tournament, and then Scotland, Australia later on. In front of us now, more importantly, Sunrisers still trying to see what they can manufacture in this chase, but you have to feel for Scrivens there. She's on 49. She's now 1 at extra cover, and she's now 1 at cover point. 3rd time lucky, maybe. Will be 3rd time lucky. It's a deserved 50 for Grace Scrivens. She's batted really impressively with wickets falling around her. You can see she's visibly not that happy because she's aware that her side are well behind in the match scenario, but that takes nothing away from the quality of the knock. It is her 2nd 50 in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, the T20 competition this season.
And just to clear up any confusion, the toss has been delayed by heavy rain in Antigua. They'll have a look in round about 55 minutes time. England do need victory, of course, to remain in contention for a place in the Super 8s. If there were to be a washout, it would eliminate England and Scotland would go through.
Yes, there's a lot of Scots praying for rain. End of Courtine Coleman's 4 overs. Another typically brilliant 4 overs from her. 1 for 14 of 4. She's gone for just 3.5 and over. Only 4 bowlers have taken more wickets in English women's domestic T20 cricket this season. And here's another bright young thing in Emma Jones. She's having a great game so far. She's been absolutely smashed there. Straight out to square leg though. Dunkley does the fielding. It's going to take quite something from here. We're up to 16 and over now.
Yeah, the game has sailed away, hasn't it? But Scrivens has put in a little masterclass out there in the middle.
Backs away. And Gardner gets a decent amount on this. It was only half stopped by mid-off, and it will just about be kept in. What a bit of fielding. That is exceptional work from Rhiannon McDonald-Gate. Had no right to keep that one in play, and rightly gets a generous round of applause from the watching crowd.
Yep, Jones will be happy because Davidson Richards got something off it to stem the real power and ferocity in the shot, and then McDonald Gay has done remarkably well there. That's exactly what you want if you're a bowler. That's what you want if you're a captain, to see everybody showing passion, commitment and desire.
All to save one run, which in the tightest of games can make the biggest of differences.
92 for 5 is the score, 62 from 22. Scrivens, the left-hander, facing up, 51 not out.
Straight to Cranston at cover point. These two have put together a very good partnership. Fear for Sunrisers it will be too little too late, because they came together at the wreckage of 43 for 5 of 8. They've added 50 exactly now for the 6th wicket, unbroken of 39 balls. 50 off 39 normally is something you'd be pretty content with. The problem is they've had to rebuild from such a difficult position. Something good off the bat. Good tumbling stop from Davidson Richards. One more.
Yeah, Gardner's given good support to Scrivens. They're batting and moving along nicely. It's just such a monumental ask.
It is exactly 3 a ball now. Scrivens mistimes this one, and charging out from the Pigeons is McDonald Gay. Pigeons who quickly scamper as soon as the talented youngster was moving swiftly towards it. Speaking of talented youngsters, excellent all-round performance today from Emma Jones, who you have to say has been really unlucky this season. This Stars team have been performing so well. It's been tough for her to get in it as Gardner lofts over mid-on and lofts handsomely for 6. That's one of the shots of the day. And that is Jo Gardner at her best. That is why she's been one of the best batters in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season. It might be too little too late, but take nothing away from the shot and the quality of it.
Brilliant, it really was. She just cleared that front pad and made sure that she could bring up the 100 here. Looking at the weather, it is becoming ominous again. It looks like we might get away with it. You can see how dark it is out there because the lights that are on around some of the stands, and they're really coming into effect, and it is raining again.
Hopefully it's just mild enough that we stay out there.
If it gets abandoned, Stars win anyway, but you just want to try and see it through.
Yeah, well behind. Duckworth Lewis says 118, so 17 behind where they need to be, Sunrisers.
3 to go in the innings. Thank you to Michael McCann. This is Jamie Reid. Stonehouse to continue. Plenty of bottom hand in this. They're going to take one. Davidson Richards will take charge and stop them coming through for the second. A good, powerful return. Very impressive from ADR. Gardner, 22 from 15. The right-hander comes back onto strike. It's been a decent enough chase, you have to say, but they've just found it difficult to score runs. That rain is getting ever heavier. I think we're going to go off very shortly. Stonehouse goes wide of the wicket, angles one into the pads of the batter. You can see that the Pigeons are on the move. They're flocking, and the players might do likewise here. I think we're going to go very shortly. Yep, indeed, the bells are off. And everybody's going to retreat to the pavilion. No real surprise going back to the dressing rooms, and the ground staff will come in here and get those covers on nice and quickly. It might just have slowed down a wee bit, the rain. The umpire's just having a little think about this. They will want to try and see the game through to a conclusion if they can. Ground staff are on, but they might not be needed. I think they're being called back. Yep, they went a little bit too quickly there.
Oh, if there's anything that just sums up the nature of the English weather, and you just almost want to write, and now it's started to rain heavier again, just as the ground staff has started to head off. You can see the gentleman with his roller is having a good chuckle about it. He can see the funny side. And it's now getting heavier again. I mean, we're into sort of hokey-cokey stuff, and that's Well, you just have to feel sorry, particularly for the ground staff. A day like this is just a nightmare. You almost want to write them an apology letter from the commentary box for what they're having to put up with. The players are now back out there, and you would have to say it is about as heavier. It is about as heavy as when they initially decided about a minute and a half ago to come off. You could almost take the last couple of minutes of cricket and non-cricket and put the Benny Hill music on the top.
Look how dark it is. When we had the opportunity to see that wide angle, you could see that it is so dark out there. This has been hit to the boundary's edge with great ferocity. Absolutely superb from Scrivens. She's not letting conditions affect her in any way, shape or form. Brilliant. Scrivens hits 4 more. It's all in vain. We're still going, but we are drinking in the last chance saloon. They're not going to reach their victory target. There's only 15 balls to go. 47 runs will win it. And Stonehouse here will go tight to the stumps and bowl again. And it's going to be a carbon copy. Another 4 runs.
Tell you what, you never know.
Don't even dream, Michael McCann.
It's still a live game, and the other thing I would say here is bowling with a wet ball is horrible.
Yes, it is.
Really difficult, and Scrivens is seeing it big. Now, there's still a long way to go. It's still free a ball, but Sunrisers have nothing to lose, and the change of conditions could actually help them, if anything.
10 from 4. I just think it's highly unlikely. Nelson is on the board. You can never say never. Maybe I have written it off too quickly, but we've seen a lot of cricket down the years, and really you will back the bowling side to do enough. What can Stonehouse do here? Going wide off the crease, and you could see Scrivens got plenty of power into that shot, but she could only pick out the fielder. Good bit of work in the covers. That's a dot ball. And now they are going to go off. Dear. It's been on, off, and now off again. Here come the ground staff. And I think we might well be done for the day here, which means that it will be a win under the DLS for South East Stars. You just can't see us getting back out now. We're running out of time. We're running out of inclination. And the Stars here, I think, have done enough to register victory via the DLS. The umpires are going to have to come off here because it's raining very heavy.
Well, just to confirm the admin, the Duckworth-Lewis pass score at this stage is 132. So they're 21 runs behind that. We've already used the hour that we had free without overs being lost in the contest. So for every... there is a figure, I believe it's about 3.8 minutes. But essentially it works out at 16 overs per hour. You start losing overs immediately. You would think that there's every chance that this might well be it. There was only 2 overs and a bit left in the game anyway. And you would have to say that whilst the Stars might be the winners on the pitch today, for me there's only one set of people who actually deserve the points on the table, which is the ground staff.
Yeah, they really do. You could see that they just shook hands with the umpires. The umpires just saying well done to the ground staff. I think we're done for the day, aren't we? And they've worked remarkably hard, Lee and his team, and we should congratulate them. A reminder that we do have the men's game to look forward to down at Hove. That's going to get underway at 7 o'clock under the lights. And then tomorrow, South East Stars are up at the county ground in Derby, a midday start against the Blaze, who are 8 from 8 so far, but just waiting for official confirmation. But it certainly looks like this one has been abandoned, and Sunrisers are going to come second best here to the South East Stars. We are done and dusted, I'm just being told. So congratulations to the South East Stars. They've registered victory in this one. Thank you for persisting with us. It's never easy when you've got to be on, off, and if you have had things to do today, thanks for staying with us on the live stream. Your support doesn't go unnoticed. It is always very welcome. The Stars will have to have a dash up to Derby. They'll get an opportunity to have a little look at the wicket ahead of finals day, which is in 7 days' time. And they'll go there tomorrow in fine fettle after registering victory in this one. From Michael McCann, myself, Jamie Reid, and everyone else working on the live stream, it's been an absolute pleasure, as it always is. We'll bid you a fond farewell and see you very soon. Bye for now.